Congratulations and welcome to GoPro Academy. I'm very, very proud of you for taking this step. I treat this very, very seriously because I want to see you win in your network marketing experience. You're in the right place. I'm here to guide you. And if you're ready for a breakthrough, this is going to be your time. So I have over 35 years experience now in network marketing. 35 years. It's kind of crazy to think about that. And whether you know a lot about me or not, I would assume that you understand what I'm talking about. I've helped millions and millions of people around the world to improve their game in network marketing. Helped over 10,000 people earn 6 figures a year. Helped over 500 people earn over $1 million a year. So when you're asking the question, can I help you get launched in your business? Start right in your business. The answer is a resounding yes. I could go on and on, writing the book GoPro, the GoPro events, all the different things we do around the world, speaking around the world. But I'd rather, instead of talking about that, I assume you probably know most of that, I want to get right into things. So what I'm about to share with you is everything I wish someone would have shared with me when I first got started 35 years ago. I wish it would have been available. It just wasn't. Because when I started, things were rough, really, really rough. So let me just kind of tell you my story as a way of introduction. Because the unique thing I have with you as a trainer, as a coach, as maybe a virtual mentor, is I've been in your shoes. I've done what you've done, or I've done what you're going to do. I have real life experience. But that wasn't always the case. When I started at 23 years old, I was a bit of a mess. I barely escaped high school. I went to college for 1 semester. I counted it up one time. By the age of 23, I had 18 different jobs. 18. You think about that. It's pretty hard to do. Get hired for a job, go to work for that person, get fired, find another one, and do that 18 times by age 23. And during that period of time, believe it or not, I'd started a little family. So here I am, age 23. Last job I had prior to network marketing was selling real estate. And the only reason I was selling real estate is my father had started a small real estate company with one of his old high school friends, a gentleman by the name of John Joyce. And John and my dad, who's also named John, started this little real estate company, and they needed somebody to get a real estate license, help them show some of the homes that they were buying and selling. So I go get this real estate license, and I'm struggling along, trying to figure out my life, basically broke. And one day, John Joyce, who had become a mentor of mine, he was a millionaire, he came to my desk at our little real estate office and said, Eric, I think I have a way for us to make some extra money. And at this point in my life, I needed money like oxygen. And when a millionaire is saying, hey, come check this thing out, obviously I was interested. So we piled into his car and we drove over to this guy's house and we watched this presentation. And if I'm honest with you, at the very beginning, like many of you maybe, the first time you were exposed to the network marketing idea, I wasn't really open to it. I found it pretty interesting, though. All the successful people in the room were interested in leaning forward. I was the negative one. I was the broke one, sitting back and being skeptical. And I actually said after the presentation, I'd like, guys, I appreciate you thinking about me, but this is really not for me. No thanks. Okay. So my dad and John said, that's fine. You can stay in the car, go stay in the car and we'll finish up here and we'll come out. And I didn't want to be left behind. I realized they're going to do it anyway. And if they decided to go and they were successful and I didn't make this decision, I couldn't really think I could handle that. So I swallowed my pride, pulled my dad aside and said, Dad, would you give me a loan to help me get started one more time? And thank goodness he said yes. So I signed up that day, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. So I get started in my network marketing experience. I'm excited. People around me are excited. And I had this impression in my mind of my friends and family that they would at least be open to taking a look at what I had. And I was really shocked that they weren't. People were just flat out saying, hey, I'm not interested. And they didn't even know what they were talking, what I was going to share with them. And I'm like, how could you not be interested? I haven't even shown you what I have yet. But like I say, maybe it was the fact that I had 18 jobs. They knew my track record wasn't stellar, or that I was 23 years old. But I faced quite a bit of rejection pretty early. And to be honest, I made some pretty big mistakes going out to people without a plan. And I want to save you from some of that pain of going out there and scaring people or embarrassing yourself unnecessarily when you're sharing your opportunity or your products with people. I learned through trial and tribulation, but I did stumble across a little bit of success that kept me in the game. I started talking to people who were friends with my family, because remember, my father was one of the people who got me involved. Him and his partner. They got me involved into this business. I'm like, okay. I started leveraging their name and introducing people. So I got a little bit of success, and I got a pretty decent first month's check, and I got an even better second month. So guess what I did? I quit my real estate job. I gave away all my listings, gave away all of my clients, and said, I want to do this full time. And no sooner did I go full time than everything fell apart. So I thought this was literally, I had won the lottery. I'm going all the way to the top, and everything fell apart on me. And when it did, an interesting thing happened, because even though it was my fault at the time, all I could do was blame everybody else for my lack of success. I blamed my upline. I blamed the company. I blamed the compensation plan. I blamed the weather. I blamed the economy. I blamed everything but myself. And one of the best things in the world happened to me, and it will seem counterintuitive. The best thing in the world that ever happened to me is I had no place to go. Where was I going to go? I'd walked away from real estate, so now I need money for my little family. I don't have an education. Finding a job, getting going quickly, kind of difficult to try and imagine. So if you imagine, a lot of you have a lot of different doors you can walk through to create money. All those doors at least felt like they were closed to me in the short term. And with those doors closed, the only one that was open was network marketing. So even though I was annoyed and I was blaming everybody, I said, well, at least in the meantime, until I find something else, I'm going to go see what I can do inside of network marketing, which I did. The best situation I was ever put in was all the doors being closed except the one that was necessary for me to go to the next level. So I went back into network marketing. I never left, but emotionally, I went back into network marketing and I started to build a business. And I would love to tell you that it was a straight shot to the top, but it wasn't. I would build up my little team and it would fall apart. And I'd build up a little team and it would fall apart. And I actually counted my first 3 years in network marketing. I rebuilt my team 7 times. 7 times. I rebuilt my team. Little team, add it up, fall apart. Build it up, fall apart. Build it up, fall apart. And finally, I cracked the code between my 3rd and 4th year inside of network marketing, and everything began to change. So if you'll listen to me in this program, I will save you the pain of going through the school of hard knocks. I will shorten your learning curve. I've not only done this myself, but I've trained millions of people around the world to successfully do this as well. So I just need you to listen. I need you to pay attention. And not only can I help you launch your business and shorten your learning curve, but I'm going to teach you how to help everybody you bring into your business to do the same thing. Everything has been custom designed for your breakthrough. All right. Every single thing that you could possibly imagine to help you get launched and successful is included in this program. Regarding terms, as we start off, I don't want you to get hung up on terms. Some people call their companies network marketing, MLM, multi-level marketing, direct selling, affiliate marketing, social selling. I'm just going to use this general term of network marketing because I think it's the most appropriate term for what it is that we do. Direct selling talks about sales. MLM talks about the compensation structure. Network marketing, I think, is accurate because we use a network of people to market our products and services. All right. That's my opinion, but doesn't have to be yours. Whatever your company's called, just anytime I say network marketing, just add, put that on top of whatever you call your company. Second, people call their team members, team member, distributor, affiliate, associate, lots of different names there too. Don't get hung up on that either. I'm just going to have one placeholder. That's distributor. Network marketing for what we do, distributor for a person who decides to get involved and build a business. Third, there's enroller, sponsor, those types of things. And really, it's the person who recruited you, the person who involved you. I'm going to use enroller as a placeholder for that. And then there's support group, team leader, upline. It's kind of this group above you who benefit from your success. I'm just going to use the general upline for that term. And you've got team, group, organization, downline, the people in your organization, the people that start from you. I'm going to use downline for that term. And finally, there's lots of products, there's lots of services that are included inside of our profession. I'm going to use just generally, anytime I talk about products, even if yours is a service, we're going to still categorize it under the products umbrella. Okay. So network marketing, distributor, enroller, upline, downline, and products. That's what we're going to use for terms. So let me share my objectives of this program with you. My primary objective is to help you launch your business. I've learned from experience that success loves speed. And I also have learned that if I can help somebody like you get off to a very quick start, it's going to be encouraging. It's going to build your confidence. It's going to keep you around while you figure out all these skills and you learn this new business. I also want to teach you how to help other people get started the right way. So you launching, building that story, building your confidence, getting paid, maybe rank advancing, getting some people on your team, really important to me, and also teaching you how to help other people do the same thing. We can begin to build some leverage in your business. Now, you might have already started in your business and you need to relaunch. Maybe you have unfinished business inside of this network marketing experience. You started, you tried, and maybe you just got off to a bad start. Maybe you got distracted with other things. Maybe things fell apart. Maybe somebody whispered in your ear, gave you a little bit of rejection and it scared you away. Maybe you were frozen by fear. Maybe you just didn't have the right coaching and now you're ready to restart. If that's you, you're in the right place. I will tell you it's common. I told you I restarted 7 times. It's common to start and restart. It's okay. What's important though, as you begin this program, if you're restarting, what's important is that you forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not finding this program. Forgive yourself for messing up. Forgive yourself for whatever you didn't do or freezing up or making mistakes or whatever. That's natural. It's part of what happens in business. What I want you to do is be kind to yourself in this process. This is a new business. You need to learn it. I'm here to help you learn it. So whether you're launching or relaunching, you're in the right place. Help you get connected to your company. I want to help you get comfortable inside of this new thing called network marketing. And I want to help you get a baseline of competency. So you feel like you are self-sufficient to an extent. Okay. You're not going to be a full network marketing pro in this program. This is designed to help you launch, get off the ground, get off to a good start, get some progress, get some results, build some confidence. I want to also help you avoid common mistakes most people make. And there's a lot of them. We'll talk about them inside of this program. I'm going to help you find and enroll your very first customers. I want to help you find and enroll your very first distributors. And I also want, this is core to what we want to do, is I want to help you rank advance and at least get to your company's core rank. I have to spend a moment and talk to you about what core rank is because it's vital as you build your network marketing career. A core rank inside of your structure, everybody has different names for all the different ranks inside of their structure. But let me give you the characteristics of a core rank. And as I do, you're going to need to check inside of your compensation structure and see what that core rank is going to be. Let me give you the attributes. Number 1, you can hit this, or people can hit this with a significant effort in a reasonable period of time. That's one aspect. You can do it, let's say 30, 60 days. You can get to that rank if you push. Number 2, it has some structure to it. It's not just volume. It can be volume if that's how your company works, but it's not just volume. It's usually there's some distributors connected to the structure, a small number of distributors connected to the structure. That's the second attribute. Third is it usually earns around $300 to $500 a month. A person at that level typically earns about $300 to $500 a month. So take a look at what rank that would be. And fourth, you can build all the way to the top of your organization by duplicating that rank. In other words, you get to core, and then you identify who on your team wants to get to core. You help them get to core. Your team gets builder and bigger. You identify who on their team wants to get to core. You help them do the same thing. And boom, 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 boom. You can build a huge organization with that. Okay, so hit it with a solid effort pretty quickly, has some structure, earns about $300 to $500 a month, and you can build to the top by duplicating that rank. So if you're unclear as to what that rank would be, talk to your upline leadership, ask around inside of your organization, and see if you can't identify it. Now, one mistake a lot of people make in network marketing is they are targeting a very, very few people that will do extraordinary things. So sometimes when I talk about core rank, they put it up high, way higher than the average person can even feel like they could reach. They want it tough. They want it hard. They want it to be a big stretch. I don't. I want it easy. I want progress. I want you to feel like you can do it. I want to give you a plan to be able to do it. I want to feel like you can accomplish it, because people won't start a race that they don't think that they can finish. If I ask you to run a marathon right now, you're going to say, no way, it's impossible. They say, well, if I give you $1,000, if you run to the mailbox, you'll probably go do that. And if I give you another $1,000 to run to the next one, you probably do that. That's what this is about. I want you to be thinking about what we can do together, you and me, easy, simple, without a lot of stress. Okay. Now, core still has to have some structure. It has to have the attributes I talked about. But if you're in doubt between two ranks, pick the lower one. Pick the easier one. If it's between two, pick the easier one. Okay. So we're going to talk about how you're going to get yourself to core rank a bit later, but that is a really foundational thing. That is one of my main objectives. I want to see you at core rank. My next big objective is to get you into the top 2% in network marketing. And that might sound lofty. If we're just launching, you're going to help me get into the top 2%? The answer is yes. Big data tells us some interesting things. Take a look at the last 1 million people that joined network marketing, for example. What you'll see if you take a snapshot of everybody that's involved in network marketing at any moment in time, here are the stats. 70% of all participants, all distributors, have recruited exactly 0 people. 70% have recruited 0. In essence, they're basically customers. Maybe they're getting a discount because they became a distributor, but they're using the product. Some come and some go. But 70%, huge number, 7 out of 10, have recruited exactly 0 at any moment in time. 20% have recruited 1 or 2 people, lifetime. 1 or 2, casual, recruited them by accident. It just kind of happened. Friend or family or somebody got involved for a second. They recruit 1 or 2. That's all they're ever going to do. 5% have recruited between 3 and 5 people, lifetime again. So 70%, 0, 20%, 1 to 2, 5%, 3 to 5. Again, pretty casual. They conquered their fear enough to be able to do that. 3% have recruited between 6 and 9 people, lifetime again, between 6 and 9. And 2% have recruited 10 or more. So one of my goals, one of my objectives in this program, my commitment to you in this program is to guide you to get into the top 2%. Because the top 2%, guess what it is? It's really the beginning. It's the beginning of your network marketing experience. It's the beginning of your journey. It's not like some ending at all. It's the training you need to get into the starting blocks and start to run. The real business builders are found in this 2%. 27 plus is the average of the people who are in this 2%. They recruit 27 or more people in their businesses if they're in that 2%. They actually recruit 70% of all the recruits that happen inside of network marketing. So what am I telling you? What I'm saying is 98% of people that are in network marketing are really tourists. They're just here for a moment. They're here to come say hi. They're here to hang out. I live in Las Vegas. Do we love our tourists? Of course. They fly into our town. They go to our restaurants. They go see the shows. They get a 3-foot-tall margarita. They get a picture with Elvis. But we know eventually they're going home. And that's true for a lot of people who join network marketing. Why? Because the price of entry is so low. The price of entry is just ridiculously low. Cheaper than a flight to Vegas for most people. So the price of exit is equally low. For some people, you'll spend more taking 4 people to the movies than you will getting involved in your network marketing business. So a lot of them are tourists. We love our tourists. They come and they go. They might introduce us to a 2%er. They might lead us to a 2%er. Some of them might have led you to this to become a 2%er. So we love our tourists. They're fine. They're fine. But the 2%, that's where we look to build the professionals. I want you in the 2%. Okay? So core is one big one. 2% is another. So in terms of business results, this program is about core and the top 2%. Here's what it is, straight up. If you aren't core and the top 2% by the end of this program, then repeat it until you get here. Repeat it until you make it happen. I promise you the answers are inside of this program. You just have to stay here until you have your breakthrough. You have to keep going through it until you have your breakthrough. You got to go listen again. You got to go practice again. You need to go follow the instructions again. I'm going to guide you step by step by step. But you just need to stay right here until you get core and the top 2% done. And once you accomplish that first goal, core and 2%, then I'll invite you to the next level of this program, the next level of GoPro Academy, where we'll give you a roadmap to get you to 6 figures. That's where we'll work on skills and leadership development, systems, duplication, all those different things. For now, it's all about core and 2%. Okay? We'll worry about the rest after we accomplish that goal.